Come on, Deacon. Are you Bishop? Come on, Bishop. There you go.
I like
Then got
ninjas gon' nig if you let them. Seen red flags when you met them. Knew you shouldn't have fed them. Ninjas gon' nig if you let them. If they all about jacking, then you might have to dead them. Bet them. Yup. Research and vet them. After you set them, then you know you can get them. Oh yeah.
what's going on? I see you updated the audio. You updated the audio.
Ninjas. What's up,
going
y'all?
on, man? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the HUSL Hour. I am the DeTravius Bethea, aka the Deacon, and I'm with.
You know, you got Bishop Bingham over here. Welcome to the church. We like to build the kingdom, so help us build the kingdom as we continue to pour into you and help you negotiate your growth, pimping.
Exactly.
You know what we do.
Exactly. And let me start with what we got to start with. We got the sponsors. So who's sponsoring the show? As always, sponsored by what?
Oh,
on your end.
That's for Mr. Good Game for sure. It's sponsored by us. We individual brands and collective brands at the same time. But y'all know where to find us on Instagram, Facebook. Charlie Bingham Jr. on Instagram. Charlie Bingham Jr. on Facebook as well.
Yeah, and it's also sponsored by dbethea.gumroad.com/1/101 credit. This is a PDF book that I found that I'm selling on the Gumroad site. It's to help you to get your credit right. It's 101 credit tips to get you right, because I know everybody's out there selling credit repair, and a lot of that stuff is they selling false information first. So this book is like $11.99. So you could do $11.99 if you still feel like you need to go and hire somebody else to fix your credit. Then do that afterwards, I would suggest. But just invest in yourself, man. And like I said, it's 101 credit tips, and I'm just gonna give y'all one off top. If the debt is real, you can't do nothing about it. Like, if it's on your joint, all you could do is just start paying your bills on time. But if it's a legit claim on your credit statement, you can't do nothing about it. But that's one tip. That's for free. We give y'all a lot of stuff for free, but go support your boys. Support the Death of Mr. Good Game. Go support this book. And let's get into it, man. So let's get into it. So the title of this show is called Your Goat Quit. The Goat Quit. What's up, man? So Simone Biles quit. Well, how you feel about that, brother?
Well, this is where we first gonna part ways, because I don't feel like she quit. I think they quit on her. I think she took her power back, like LeBron.
Who quit on her?
I think it's the IOC, International Olympic Committee, because she's so dope. My understanding is, and I think what's his name? Klay Thompson made a post about this, where he's like, imagine you so dope. What if they decided when Steph Curry first came into the league, your range is ridiculous, and the fact that you could hit those shots makes other players look bad, and so instead of giving you 3 points, we gonna only give you 1 point. And it's essentially that's what they did to her. She was doing very complicated, the best in her craft, and you want to shortchange her. She, in my opinion, she ain't quit. She pulled a LeBron, like, okay, y'all good? Let's see how y'all do without me. Let's see what type of attention y'all get without me, since y'all don't want to give me my full points. And if I got any difficulties, I have nothing left to prove. I'll prove that y'all ain't ready for me yet, because y'all have officially gone on record and you said you're not going to give me my full points. That is out there. That is a bingable thing. You see what I did there? You can ding that and get all of the details, but I'm just going to summarize that part for you. If somebody wasn't giving me all my points, I'm going to throw you the deuces too, especially if I'm financially secure, my sponsors is backing me, yada, yada, yada. Like, I don't need y'all no more. People know my name. My brand is my brand. I've done what I've done. So I don't look at it as she quit. I applaud her. Like, I know we in the church, excuse my French, to hell with y'all. Y'all don't want to give me my points and shortchange me, and I done worked hard because y'all worried about these other people who are beneath me. Then this whole thing is beneath me. Then I'm gonna leave. Y'all are on record saying y'all can't keep up with me. What else I got to prove?
So you don't think she was having any mental issues?
I mean, she said she was having mental issues, and that's fine. I would have mental issues too if I'm trying very complicated routines and you're not giving me my full points. Like, I'm gonna be thinking about that. I might as well quit this twist halfway, because if I go 3 more times, they ain't gonna give me no points. So
yeah, I didn't know they did that. I got to do my research on that because I was ignorant and I learned something from the HUSL Hour today. My damn self. I didn't even know that they on record saying that they're not gonna give her full points for the stuff that she's doing. That's crazy, yo.
Yeah, and then you think about it in that format, it's like, yeah, I probably would say quit too. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
So where I was going with it, I mean, she quit, but it did. For where I was going with it, there's different reasons to there's different reasons to quit. Like, you're not feeling, if emotionally you're not there, then you know what I'm saying? Because we like to applaud, like, hey, he's mentally tough, she's mentally tough. But if you're not there, especially with the stuff that she's doing, like, she could literally kill herself, right? If she doesn't hit something right way, become a paraplegic. Like, somebody did do that, and they didn't make it to the Olympics. I think they was on a Russian team. They came back. It was a physical injury, and they was saying the person was like, the young girl was like, I'm not ready to go. I'm not healthy enough to participate. And they was like, nah, B, you gotta get on this joint, and you know what I mean, and get on these
do some tricks.
do some tricks. And she ended up like missing something, and she fell on her head and broke her neck and was a paraplegic.
Yeah. No, I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that on the internet, on these internet streets too. And when you think about it, it's like, yeah, man, you call her a quitter or whatever, but one thing you ain't gonna call her is a loser, because she got chains on chains.
Definitely not a loser, bro. And what's crazy for me is, like, everybody, I'm all for people doing what they want to do with their life, right? I mean, it's obviously consequences and repercussions to everything you do. But for me, it's like, I be seeing people going hard on the internet, and I'm unplugged from social media for them, besides the little 30 minutes a day that I have, that I get myself. But it's like, yo, bro, y'all ain't never did nothing, yo. Y'all ain't never been the best at your local YMCA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even imagine the immense pressure that it is just to stay on top. Like, you can't do it because you're not that person. So for you to be armchair coaching the armchair, telling her what she should do when she's the greatest Olympian ever in her sport, in her field, you sound crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Look at share the screen. I put the link in the chat, but this is like, for people that don't know, this is like real. They couldn't score her, and was consistently underscoring her. They wasn't giving her full props. So if you read this story, it comes down to it, and basically she put all of this hard work and effort in, and instead of giving her perfect 10s, you want to give her an 8. Man, you crazy. Like, they got a whole system and article about it. Like, here go one. Let's watch it. Like, these other chicks ain't never doing this stuff. She the first woman in history to perform this move. And then instead of, that's like hating at the dunk contest. Instead of giving all 50s because you don't understand it, you just gonna put up an 8. Like, yeah, no, I don't want anybody else to try this and hurt themselves.
All right, you go put it on. You playing the audio?
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming. That's that.
You got that cricket.
Look, I ain't shut my computer down in a while, man. That's what happened.
You Microsoft, so you gotta have a PC.
Yeah, when you're grinding and all of that stuff. I got a MacBook Pro too. But that's for, graphics and all of that stuff. So all right, here we go.
There you go.
It's supposed to be, if it is there it is. Yeah, come on, man.
Where the audio, Bishop?
It's coming. You know, make that donation, y'all. Y'all see my internet.
Yo, please get this man. Send this man a cash app. What's it?
Just the last couple of days.
Send this man cash app ASAP, bro. We gotta get you. Yo, yeah, you probably done moved up to Metro PCS now. You still got a couple more steps to go, bro. You join this man.
Y'all make sure your bishop look good. Y'all hit that cash.
All right, man, we gonna take it off, bro, because this joint still loading.
Yeah, that's bad business. Look, that's a good advertisement to invest into the kingdom, though. We trying to bring y'all. And look, soon as I stop sharing, then it want to work.
Go ahead, share it. Try to share it one more time. See what happens.
Every single time. Here we go.
Let me pause it so she can buff. All right. Share screen.
Please send the bishop. You see he's at the King Bingham. Please send him a couple of dollars so he can update his internet service. This joker done. He done stepped up from cricket though. He got Metro PCS now.
All right. You got it up?
Hold on. All right. You can put it up, I think. I got it now though. Let's see.
All right. Oh, I think it's because I'm sharing. We get it together, y'all. Y'all make sure it was going fine when I started. It's the sharing. For real, it's the sharing. But y'all still donate and invest into the kingdom. Look, as soon as I stop sharing it, everything is good. All right.
Yeah, it's just the sharing. Yeah.
The link is in the comments, but my thought is Simone ain't quit. She did like LeBron James and took her power and her ball and went elsewhere. I wish Sha'Carri Richardson would do the same and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna run anyway.
That's crazy because I didn't know. That's why I didn't know they was doing her like that, yo. Because that is kind of crazy because my competition can't do what I can do. You're not gonna judge me the way you should be judging me.
Yeah,
properly.
That's that. And think about it. She can't say, well, then I quit. Because then, you know, she gonna catch it. So saying it's mental health and I'm getting the twisties and all of that stuff. And I'm not saying, you know, this what she doing. I'm saying I'd be thinking this in the back of my mind. Like, I done worked hard. All of that simple stuff I could do. I went to another level and challenged myself. And then y'all didn't want to give me no points. So there's nothing left in gymnastics for me. Like what I got to prove, all y'all simple stuff I've done. And I've gotten the gold medal. That's why I'm like, why you gonna risk breaking your neck? You paid.
Yeah. She I mean, she could definitely gonna be all right. She seemed like she got a good personality. She got a little swag with her. She definitely got a future. And some type of I could see her as a personality. You know what I mean? I could definitely see her being a talking head, as they would say. But I didn't know that, man, because that kind of destroys a lot of where I was gonna go with it. But I think, you know, mental health is important, people. You know, we haven't been the best at it in our community, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, if you need to talk to somebody, you need some counseling, man, you go seek your help, because the world will tell you what you need to be doing and what they would expect of you, and they don't really care about you, yeah. Only your mom and your kids care about you. Maybe your significant other, but outside of that, yo, these people will destroy you, chew you up, and spit you out. And then you be dead and gone, and they living their best life out here, risking it all without no vaccine. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Corey. I don't know who rubbed Corey the wrong way, but he's been going in on the vaccine. Yeah, man, that's right. And the only people who gonna care about you is sometimes your family. And I think that's a nice transition into our next topic, which is King Richard.
King Richard. So I looked at it right before we got on, right? Because you said you wanted to talk about that. Yo, it looks like it's gonna be dope. I like Will Smith a lot, man. Will Smith. I'm just gonna go with Will Smith first. Will Smith is the guy. He just seems like he's comfortable with who he is, man. I don't know how much of that is an act. But he just seemed, well, he said he was acting prior to, because he was doing things that he thought people thought he should do. And now he came into this new own where he's doing what he wants to do. And I think a lot of that comes with age. But he embraced like being a corny dude. he embraced being like, you know, the quote unquote soft guy. You know what I mean? Like he just embraced it and he's running with it. So I actually got a couple of his stuff from his website. I like his clothing line. Bel Air Academy. I got some couple things from there. I just like who he is as a being from what I know. Obviously, I don't know the dude, but he seems like, you know, he's a authentic, you know, people throwing that term around. He seems to be authentic. But going to the trailer, yeah, I can't wait to see that joint, man. It's crazy that it's too bad I wasn't I'm not into tennis to really, really, truly appreciate what they did. But like, yo, they pops, like, we gotta start giving these fathers they credit, man. I know everybody hate dads, right? When stuff go wrong, yo, it's because that wasn't around. But as soon as stuff go right, we think mama, right? But I mean, it is what it is. But we need to start championing and supporting these dads because, yo, I forget their story. Like, not that I forget it, but I don't think about it too deeply. But like, yo, they from Compton. Like he had like mad kids, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even realize he had that many damn kids, honestly.
I didn't either.
Yo, he had mad kids. They from Compton, two little black girls that's blackity black. And you know what I mean? And they crushed the tennis world, bro. They end up being the goats of the tennis world in their field. You know what I mean? Like, that's an amazing story. But you told me you saved something for the record. So go ahead. What you was about to say before we got on?
So I'm about to pour my heart out. I'm about to be vulnerable. So this is a warning. I can't wait to see it either. I love those type of movies. I'm not no emotional dude. My wife will tell you to get me to cry. I'm the type, I done seen so much death. I could go to a funeral and me and my sister will be cracking jokes on people and laughing. That's just to kind of give you some context. One of the things that can make me get emotional is movies like this. And I think you said a word where we got to start giving our black fathers some flowers. The first time I actually cried and got emotional in my adulthood, like sobbing like a baby, was Blood Diamonds. I don't know if you remember the movie, and I was we was still dating. We was dating. We was all in law school at that time when I finally saw it. And Tierra was just like, "Are you crying?" And I was, I couldn't even stop it. And I didn't know why. But as I've grown older, I realized, like, I think your environment, you can go one of two ways. You can conform to your environment, or you could try to prove people wrong. And, I didn't have the greatest father. He taught me how to play dominoes. He taught me kind of how to be verbally abusive. And there's probably some other things he taught me. But as far as like sitting down, giving me life lessons, he didn't teach me how to be a man. And I could say that and be honest, because I talk about that in my book and everything like that. I'm not bitter, but that's just a reality. And so that's where I kind of get this concept. Manhood is often assumed, but it's seldom taught. And I try to do the opposite of that with my kids. I've set very high standards, especially compared to their mom. We go back and forth. Like, that's one of the battles that I have, like, you being too hard on them. And after talking to other married men, I know I'm not the only one that kind of goes through that, where it seems like, and sometimes it's reverse. The dude is just soft and really don't have high standards. And the mom is the one pushing the kids, but I'm the one that pushes my kids and tell them, no, I'm not accepting that average stuff. It gotta be here. And so sometimes that could cause some internal war and bumping heads, because kids can figure out how to play.
They definitely navigate. They definitely know how to navigate, yo.
They know how to navigate. Yeah. So when I'm watching that trailer, it's funny because I sat down and told my son to come watch it. I seen it today and I'm like, see, you recognize any of this? I paused it. I'm like, what that say? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You done heard that at you, Dad. Then they sit down like, who's your best friend? He's asking his girls in the trailer, like, who's your best friend? And the one say, you, Dad. And then the other one say, well, my sister. And then you, Dad. Man, I'm like my kids' best friends. Like, I tell them all the time, man, y'all don't need nothing. I'll do whatever it is, because that allows me to spend time with them, invest in them, and show them, like, look, you are important. when he talked about he had a plan for a 78-page plan for his
before they was born, yo. He said before
they was born.
That's
my
crazy.
son was like, he knew already what I was about to say. He was like, he could relate to it. I don't know if we talked about this on here, but I know like last week I was with some people and we was talking about our situations or whatever. I tell my son all the time, man, I'm planning for you to be Black Moses. Our people is not going to be in this position if you fulfill your purpose and do what you're supposed to do. So I'm teaching about charisma, being articulate, how to influence people. He's learning about himself, his culture, his ancestries, Africa, and all of that stuff. So it really got me emotional. And I think we got to give our dads that are doing the right thing some props, because the mass media has kind of tore us down. And you know, I'm self-assured to where I don't need nobody to pat me on the back, because I know what I'm doing for my kids. I tell my son all the time. I think we done talked about it on here, and shout out to you too, because you reached out to me. That's how this podcast came about. You wanted to give your son some words of encouragement, and I tell my son all the time, we sacrificed the CLS 550 for you, buddy, because that's what we was gonna get our rocket ship. That's what we was gonna get. And he always asked me, and then I explained to him, you know, once you came, I told Mom, we don't need that extra money. You don't need to work. We finna invest that in homeschooling you and making sure you get the nurture and the love that you need. And I think as a people, we just gotta put the focus back on us and our family and the things that we can control. We can't control racism outside of our home, but we can control how our kids deal with it, how we prepare them to deal with it when they're home, how we make sure they love themselves. My son went to the park this week and some kid was talking about Greek and Roman and the German stuff. And my son's in the world history and all of this and that. But he didn't know about Africa. He didn't know about the Egyptians. And this kid talking about he wanted to learn German and British, and he's not gonna be in Atlanta for forever, and he want to move to Germany. And I'm just like, I had to play it out for my son. Like, son, this is what's gonna happen. He's focusing on other people's history, which is fine, but he don't know nothing about his ancestry. So eventually, along the way, all of his heroes is gonna look like someone other than himself. He's going to manifest that, and then he's going somewhere down the line be heartbroken because them people are not going to accept him as one of their own. Even if you know all of their culture, you still different, and that shock is going to hit him at some point. And that's why I teach you to know your history first, and then we gonna go out there and get the rest. I know that was a long
you was long, bro. I was about to cut your mic off.
I told you I was being vulnerable, man, because I feel like I'm passionate about this. Like, yo, people, we got to do better. And you said a word. Like, shout out to all the Black fathers out there that's doing what they supposed to do against all odds. Because for those that seen the trailer, we need to put the link in the chat. He was like, he looked crazy. You know, back then you got a 78-page plan until it play out. Until it play out.
Yeah. So the last time I cried last year. That's the first time I cried in a minute, though, when my grandmother passed away. But so everybody know my story. I never knew my father. He died when I was 8, but I didn't know him before that. But the first time, like the first movie that really hit me, like, damn, this is crazy. It could be crazy. Was the movie with Denzel and the boy when he doing the heart, his son need a heart.
John Q. That's another one.
If you watch John Q and don't tear up or something, no dust get in your eye, bro, you ain't human. I don't know what's wrong.
I'm with you on that, John Q. Yeah,
John Q. And I was like, damn. I was like, John Q was one of the movies, and Denzel is Denzel, obviously. And then the way he played that role and how it played out, like the system and all that type of stuff, and how he was, you know, his kid and his son is like, damn, yo, like you know what I mean? I had a whole bunch of dust in my eyes. My eyes is watering up. I'm like, damn, like my allergies acting up and everything. But it was crazy, man. But where was I going? Oh, I'm just yeah. So it's just like, I did reach out to you because my son's mother, she's put together this book with wisdom. It was a good idea, and I was like, I reached out to a couple people that I admired and was like, yo, would you like to write some words of wisdom to my son? Because I tell them stuff all the time, but it's also good to have another voice, because at the end of the day, a lot of times the messenger is more important than the actual message sometimes. You know what I mean? Because with the messenger, like if you just, you know, because we relate to, obviously we're just their parents. So what they're saying, especially when they get to a teenage age, they be like, everybody think they know it all when they're a teenager, right? So I ask people to send me some stuff. A couple people sent me. You sent me something. D-Don sent me something. Who else I asked? I can't think of everybody, so I ain't gonna even go down the list. But people basically responded, and everybody that I asked sent something. So thank everybody for sending something like that. It meant a lot. But I've been doing like stuff. So I tell my son, I give him like little sayings that I repeat it over and over again. So I hopefully it sticks, because I never had that in my life. So I would tell him like, don't let the TV control you. You control the TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's little stuff like that. Like, it's simple, but when you start thinking about it, so now it's like TV is social media and all that type of stuff. But like, don't let social media control you. You control it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like it's a tool. And like, all right, when you see commercials, I always tell them, like, when you see a commercial, what are they trying to get? Trying to get my money. You know what I'm saying? So I tell him that type of stuff. But hopefully it's sticking, man. And I mean, obviously he's gonna be human. He's gonna go through his trials and tribulations, but hopefully one day he'll be like, yo, you know what? My dad said that a long time ago. Like, he was right. So even like with my mom, I'll be like, I think we talked about this either last episode or definitely on this on the show. And she was like, yo, you want to be average. Like, she used to make average seem so bad. And that always stick to me, like, yo, average, you want to be average? C is average. You want to be average?
Average.
And I just be like, damn, like, she just made it seem so bad. But yeah, man, I think I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody offline. We talk about development here in New Jersey, specifically Trenton, New Jersey. And we were saying, like, a lot of the stuff is just like what we don't like to say comes down to parenting, man.
Yeah.
And obviously it is leftover from, you know, post-traumatic slave and all that, like the syndrome and just the habits or lack thereof that just been passed down. But it's real. A lot of it just comes down to parents, man. It's like, no matter what you do on the outside, if the inside of the crib ain't what it's supposed to be, it might not work, bro. Chances are it's not going to work.
Yeah. And children know, if you set a low bar, they're going to stick to that low bar. That's why I think we got to raise our standards, but we got to remember that at some point we was kings and queens and pharaohs and built the pyramids. Like, that's in our DNA, and we got to remember that and expect more of ourselves, so that we can expect more of our children. One thing I'm learning, man, it's unfortunate, you know, back in the 90s, it was your word was your bond. Word is bond, B. You could count on that. Now it's cap. People don't mind saying that I'm capping. They'll say something and they never intend to follow through on that. And you know that
that's what cap mean. I had no idea what that meant. I mean, I kind of sort of
you just talking.
You just talking. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cap.
In Milwaukee, we call it bumping your gums or jaw jacking, but we know you ain't gonna follow through. You just talking. And some people, you know, just like the culture has switched from kind of being pimps to where tricking is cool. The culture has now shifted from where being a man of your word or a woman of your word and having integrity to it's okay to cap. And I think that takes us as a people backwards. That's on some old philosophical stuff. And I know we done got off topic and we've been talking a while. But so I'll end with this. Shout out to Will Smith. Because when you see him do Ali and then you see him do King Richard, it was like, man, this dude is versatile. Just like Denzel Washington. We got to appreciate him. Did you see the comment, work the new NYSP program at Hampton? I don't want to tear up your name. I did not. I went to Howard, but let's chat in the comments and talk about it. You see that, DeTravius? You can put that up. Did I lose this, Jesse? Or did he lose me? Is we frozen? All right. Moving on then. He was talking about Cricket Wireless and Metro PCS. Our next topic is the Westbrook trade. I think he's going to come in eventually, but we're going to have share our thoughts on the Westbrook trade. I'm still here. Yeah. So that means we still live. I want y'all to make sure that y'all give this brother grief about his internet, because he be giving it to me, as y'all can see. But I'm not frozen. If y'all still with me, holler back. The Westbrook trade. I think the Westbrook trade is going to surprise a lot of people. Yeah, we know the media has some of the members of the media have made a career out of tearing down strong-willed black men, and Westbrook is one of those. Hold on, this Jesse on the phone. What's going on, brother? We still live. Yes, yeah, it's on you, Jesse. I'm talking to the people, and we laughing at you on that Metro PCS. Come on, join back when you can. We done moved the Westbrook trade. There you go. Yeah. LeBron needs a. Hey, I like this. I like this guy. I don't know who you are, but Thank you for joining. I don't want to mess up the name. I think I can. We got little icons, so I said guy. I believe that's. Do you know who that is? The Johnson.
I can't tell by the little icon.
Okay, it looks like a guy. I'm gonna address you, Mr. Johnson. You going where I was headed. DeTravius, I was saying some people have made a career out of tearing down strong-willed black men. Russell Westbrook is definitely one of those strong-willed black men that Bali, okay, bet. No, yeah. That you not going, his confidence is his confidence. And I saw this in corporate America. One day we had to talk about how they emasculate black men in corporate America in forcing us to conform to their standards. So put that on the list for a future topic, because that's going to get deep. That may get.
Let me tell people the story that for the newcomers, right?
The Charlie Bingham,
right? Charlie Bingham, right? So
we're gonna come back to Westbrook and
we're gonna come back to Westbrook just to go back to the conformity thing, right? So Charlie Bingham, so the King Bingham, dollar sign. And then we're gonna request y'all hit this Cash App after that. So he was so our first 1L year, right? So the first networking event we get all these preliminary meetings about how we supposed to conduct ourselves, and basically the dean telling us to shuck and jive, and when you shake their hand, don't be too hard. Make sure your voice is to walk this way. So we getting all these, wear this type of suit. It was getting so deep where you should just wear this type of tie. Don't wear a purple tie, just wear red, white, blue. Like, it was crazy, right? Basically conform and shuck and jive and what's the name. So we get invited to this networking event. And I don't know if anybody else outside of law school been to these type of foo-foo networking events. Everybody's being fake. I'm hearing people voices that I never even heard before. Like, yo, bro, that shit, you going to the interview voice already? We just eating food right now. Relax. Like, people, you hear people names that you never even heard. Like, yo, bro, I thought your name was Daquan. They introducing themselves as David. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Yo, you Daquan at Howard Law. Now you David. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So Charlie, like, so we all in this space where you got to be, on your best behavior, right? Yo, Charlie is killing these chicken wings. He getting chicken wings. He getting drinks. So Charlie like, yo, I'm about to get some more. So the chicken wings run out. Charlie like, yo, I'm about to go tell her to order some more chicken wings. I'm like, who's her? He like, the associate. What you talking about? So I'm like, yeah, relax. They got to think about black people and chicken. Relax. He's like, nah, I'm hungry. I'm about to get some more chicken. So he go have an order 10 new joints of chicken. They done went over budget and everything, feeding this Negro, right? So at the end of the joint, we walking out. He's like, remember me? I'm the chicken man. He was like, yo, I'm Charlie Bingham. Remember me? I'm the chicken man. She's like, oh, I'm not going to forget. I said, yo, this joker just was real the whole time. He was just acting like he acting right now. Obviously a little bit more mature, but he's acting like, I'm like, yo, he was the only one that was acting like, I can't even say I was acting like I normally act in that joint. I was like, I'm selling.
You was David. You was David.
David like, your name DeTravius. I was like, no, it's not. It's David.
Oh, God. Okay, going back.
But going back to Westbrook though,
The Westbrook trade. You're not changing Westbrook. Westbrook don't care about your opinions, and he's dope, just like Simone Biles. And you will see a theme here, man. When you confident within yourself, they will try to come in and knock your confidence, the outside world. And I can't even say they like the Huckabees, because sometimes it'll be your family. It'll be those in your inner circle who don't have your vision, who will tell you all.
It'll be the Jessies too.
It'll be like, no, you don't need to do that. Westbrook has always been a dog. One thing that nobody could say is he's taking days off. And right now they saying, oh, he's got a bad rep. It's like, oh, he went here. They didn't want to play with him. Kevin Durant didn't want to play with him. He went to Houston with his boy, James Harden. Harden didn't want to play with him. He went to the Wizards and Bradley Beal didn't want to play with him. But here's the thing. Bradley Beal ain't the Bradley Beal without Westbrook. What you'll see, and they don't really report on that, is Westbrook is a great teammate. That's what the people say. It be some of the haters, and Bradley Beal would do well to come on out and now that Westbrook is gone and say, look, I ain't never been number 2 in the running for scoring champ until Russell Westbrook got here. John Wall was here, and I was never putting up these kind of numbers. Don't let the media tear your brother down who made you look good. I think Westbrook is unappreciated, and LeBron got a dog now. As Bali said, LeBron got a dog now. We know this dude gonna fight. I don't care if he can't shoot. He got a dog now. You ain't no way you going, and you got a barking dog. He's probably gonna have to bark on Anthony Davis and say, stop shooting threes and get down there and let's ball.
It's gonna be interesting. My only thing with Westbrook is see, I'm not the type, obviously, if anybody follow me on social media, right? I'm assuming most people I know for a fact most people that watch the show is we haven't hit the point where we getting strangers yet. But my only issue with Westbrook is that I question his decision making sometimes. Sometimes he needs, you know what I mean? But that's everybody.
Dude, yeah. You could say that.
Yeah, but outside of that, and I don't hold it against him that he hasn't, won a ring, because you got to think of who he's been going against his whole career. You know what I'm saying? It's only 1 year where I felt like him and when the last year Durant was there, when they blew that. What it was
3-1 lead
to the history would look a lot different, yo. I wonder if people be saying the same thing about your boy the light-skinned boy, the pretty boy.
Look, for the record, Durant a sucker for that. I want Westbrook to get with some real G's, because that ain't how you do, man. That's it. That's completely against the code.
Yeah, but the thing was, so I was going with it, outside of that year, I can't think of a year where he was on a team that was supposed to win a championship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, I think the first year they played Cleveland, the Cleveland first chip, they were the favorites going in, and then LeBron did LeBron thing on them. You know what I mean? But you can't be mad at that. You losing to, in my opinion, the greatest basketball player ever. But right. You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad at that, bro. Outside of that, he's been on teams where they weren't that good.
He wasn't put in a position to win.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what they do. I keep saying they. I want to be clear. The structure, those in power, that's what they do to kind of break you. Especially if you seem to be extremely confident. And that thread goes back to King Richard. What we going to learn in that movie is so many people try to tell him, hey, man, you crazy. Huh? And we see it now. Same thing with Simone. They try to break her confidence and act like she done did. And we saw it with Sha'Carri. You can't be too. And that's one of them 48 laws of power. When I got to corporate America, I was like, yeah, no, I don't subscribe to this. Somebody
was you the chicken man in corporate America? You stayed the chicken man?
I've been myself. I wasn't a chicken man, though. I was hungry then, man. We was poor. Man, and we had to catch the metro and walk in DC. Hey, when you ain't got nothing on your stomach, that's like drinking on an empty stomach. That takes something out of you. It's different when you hungry. But in corporate America, I forgot where I was going with the point. You brought up chicken, Jesse.
Yeah. Let's give him 5 minutes. But I think this is a
buck breaking. I like belief. That's what it is, man. You can't be too confident and strong. And one of the things that I saw was at the HBCUs, we learned, you start to believe in yourself. I'm a triple HBCU, so I ain't never doubted myself.
Howard was a little shaky though, bro. You believed in yourself, but not necessarily because of the powers that be.
No. I mean, just being around your people and not having to deal with that.
That is empowering. Just being around your people and you see, because even when we graduated and I came back to Jersey eventually, and I was doing mediation training, and when you at the hustle, you realize that everybody's here for the most part was black. I mean, we had some people that weren't, you know what I mean, but for the most part, not to say 95%, 92% of black, right? And what you take for granted, I didn't take it for granted, but I didn't appreciate it for sure. I guess that might be the same thing, was that everybody that's in this room is going to be an attorney. And when you leave here, you're never going to see that again unless you go to like Bossa or something like that, the conventions, you know what I'm saying? Like you're never going to see this many black attorneys in a room at the same damn time ever again, unless you go in someplace to get that. Like we had that every day, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's empowering. In my opinion, that's empowering with the self. Another thing that was super empowering at Howard was I think this is a dope thing, is to have the pictures of the people that came before you on the walls. Like you walk down, you be like, damn,
yeah,
that's such and such. Damn, I didn't even know he went to Howard. You know what I mean?
And you start to think that you can do it. And then when you go out in corporate America, if you don't suffer from the imposter syndrome, which I don't, they think you
cocky, man, yo.
They think you cocky, they think you arrogant, and as Beli said, it's a form of corporate America buck breaking you. And sometimes they will deploy your own people to break you, just like in the old days on the plantation, man. It's crazy. I'm gonna write about that in my second book and detail it, but I don't trust people from Harvard, Jesse's that went to Harvard to this day. For that reason, I got a healthy distrust. You got to show me something first before I trust you, because when we isolated and used to being the only one and we suffer from the imposter syndrome, we view those of us that don't as a threat. I'm gonna let that sit there. Go ahead, hit the Cash App. You're gonna get that on your way. You're gonna get that one on your way home. That's gonna resonate with somebody. I hope I ain't stepping on your toes, but that has become a fact of life that I've learned.
You want to be driving and be like, oh, let me hit that Cash App. Let me hit that Cash App.
And look, we done steered all the way off Westbrook, but my prediction is a lot of people gonna be surprised, because I think he can humble himself, because he holds himself to high standards. This man averaged a triple-double. The reason he's had issues with teammates is because they going off their natural talent. Because remember Westbrook's story, he wears 0 for a reason. He was underestimated, wasn't like this high rank going into college and all of that stuff. He had to earn his way. Some people went through the AAU system and it was handed to them. So them two type of people ain't gonna work. It kind of reminds me of Shaq and Kobe. Remember, Kobe said we could have won a bunch of championships if this Jesse would have worked out. Talking about Shaq, you had talent.
Watch your mouth about the Jersey King though. Watch your mouth about the Jersey King.
Shaq. Who's the Jersey King?
Jersey King. He's a Jersey King. Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, well, he's doing his thing in business. All right, teamwork and team building. We kind of that kind of goes to that though.
So we was talking about. So one of the things that I give LeBron credit for, and I guess people hold this against him, but his ability to build his team to address like needs that he I ain't gonna say he sees shortcomings in his game, but he realizes like he doesn't wait for the organization to do it. Like when he was waiting for the organization, he rolled out and went to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But before he moved to Miami, but got Bosh on the phone. Yo, were you with it? Boom. Wade, you with it? Well, Wade was already there, but he's a free agent too. They could have went anywhere they wanted to. All right, let's do this. And I think going back to last week was like people don't like that. People hold that against him. It's like, yo, you rather let the team build you. Like you gonna wait for the team to build to build a championship around you. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I've always been, I can say always. Once I realized like these teams are corporations, I don't know what year that happened. I've been switching like, yo, you got to get your money and you got to do what's best for you because they're going to spit you out. They're going to trade you. They're going to cut you when they don't need you. So why would you give a organization like, just say the Cavs, your best years when you know no free agent is coming to the Cavaliers, yo? Before they won, name one top free agent that signed with the Cavs, yo.
No, the thread goes through, yo. It's buck breaking. It is power and control. And once they realized they couldn't control LeBron, what they did was try to manipulate that situation. LeBron is associated with super teams. But what people fail to realize is the Lakers was a super team. They were brought together. Irvin, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, all of them. The Celtics were a super team. They had a whole start.
The second Bulls run was for sure a super team.
Yeah, the Bulls, but they like to put that negative association with LeBron because they don't want people to do that. That's the power structure. And as we seeing in these Olympics, this U.S. power structure that's built on white supremacy is slowly crumbling. Like we ain't as fantastic as we thought we was, and as we've learned in the educational system in grades 1 through 12, if you went to a normal school. Like it's slowly coming to crumble down, and power does not concede power. You got to go take it. LeBron took it, and they used the mass media to label him. But I dare you to find something else bad about this man. And they have influenced so many of us Jessies not to hold this guy up. We can't even appreciate LeBron because we too busy criticizing him. And it's crazy. And they try to pit him against people. Look at what they did with Giannis. Oh, Giannis stayed. He got it out the blah, 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 blah. But Giannis ain't got the team building skills that LeBron got. LeBron knew better. Like, y'all ain't doing y'all job, general manager. Y'all average. I could do this better than y'all. Matter of fact, I'm going to go do it and show you.
I'm going to show you and then come back and you ain't going to say nothing to me, but you're going
snipe at me.
Yeah, I'm about to get out of deacon mode. Let me stay in
stay in deacon mode. But that's team building. And it's funny because you cannot be a success without building a good team around you. That goes to Simone Biles. Somebody told her it's okay to quit. Like you said, some of them other gymnasts who broke their neck was getting pressure from the people who really didn't have their best interests at heart. They trying to keep a job. King Richard protected Venus and Serena. I remember there's a clip out there of an interview where a Huckabee asked she's like 13 years old, asked her, you really think you're going to win a championship? And she answers it like, yeah, I am going to win the championship. And he asked her again, like, for real. And her father cut in the interview like, nah, she done answered it once. Leave her alone. Yeah. I mean, that thread is throughout. And as a people, if we positively influencing our people and negotiating growth.
Show the shirt.
As you negotiate your growth, we got the merch. We'll put the link there. As you negotiate your growth, you got to understand. And I think it's a Malcolm X quote. I
like that terminology though. Negotiate your growth. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah, because
where did you get that term from?
Because that's what it is. I'm negotiating my own growth. As I'm reading these books, I'm saying, okay, what do you want to give up? What's the gives and the takes? What is it what part of yourself should you keep? What part of yourself should you let go? What part of your circle should you keep? What part should you let go? What part of the stuff that you allow people to put on you should you keep? And what part do you let go? Like I do a lot of pro bono and I want to help people out, but I know in the same instance, if you went somewhere else, you're going to pay them their money or you just going to be shortchanged. I'm compassionate. I don't want you to go through this situation without a lawyer. So I'll step in and help you just on GP. But, sometimes negotiating that like, no, you got to pay me. My time is valuable. I don't think you appreciate my time like I appreciate my time. And if I don't force people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Then that's negotiate your growth.
Yeah. I never framed it like that. I do the same thing, but I never framed it. I think that's a good term. I'm about to steal that from you.
You ain't gotta steal it. You part of the cast, bro. We gonna share all of this IP. We brothers now. Crypto and 88, because I know we gotta stop at 60 minutes.
We gotta stop at 60 minutes. So crypto.
ADA.
Yeah,
y'all need to invest in Cardano. We tried to tell y'all weeks ago that's gonna be the one we push, and it's coming up. I know I've made some money. I don't know about the rest of you, Jesse. Yeah. You know what we gotta start doing too? Because I just tried to type it in the chat, and it just occurred to me, man, we gotta start tagging people. Hey, we gotta start just tagging people as we start. Just start putting their name in the chat. And just start tagging people so they tune into the video.
Yeah, that's what I got that from the pastor Jason Moody when I was on his live. That's what
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that's smart. I was like, he's smart. He's smart. Yeah. Smart. Yeah, smart. Deacon bishop.
That's a smart cut.
That's a smart cut. Yeah.
See what we did.
So we got 10 minutes. So we really only got 8. So let's just jump into smart. So go check Cardano. We not giving y'all investment advice, but we saying. You should.
That's what we doing as a people.
As a people, that's what we doing. We putting our money where our mouth is, and it definitely went up since I've been investing. And like I said last week, I didn't put I put $100 away. And I didn't do it last week because I went and got some physical gold and platinum. No, not gold. I'm sorry. I went and got some physical platinum and silver. But this week I'm gonna be back on it. But yeah, let's move forward. So smart cuts, brother. Let me put my phone out. So smart cuts is basically, in a nutshell, it's a book about smart cuts. Like all our books have a theme, right? So hustle harder.
Let me stop you. So because I want to make sure we thorough so the people understand. Before we move off Cardano is $1.31 right now. I think when we first started talking about it, it was less than $1, and that's why we chose it. Like, we're gonna put our money here. Now it's $1.31. If that thing hit big and all of our people put their money there, instead of trying to get a 50th of a share of Bitcoin and what's already making somebody else rich, we can negotiate some growth. All right. Sorry about that, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, and Cardano also look into what they're doing with the platform. I mean, I know nobody cares about the actual tech, but look at just do your own research to see what they're doing with the tech on the continent and all these places that I hate to use third world, but that's what everybody knows these countries by. And to see what they're doing, the infrastructure they putting in place to grow those countries. But yeah, let's go get the smart cuts, man.
All right.
So this was you. You recommended this book to me years ago.
Shout out to Darnell Suggs. Let me put his name in here because he blessed me with it. I think he might have been one of the first people to give me a book just randomly. He was like, man, you should read this. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. And I held on to it for a while and didn't read it until I went on one of those refresh trips. And man, it changed my life. Like, yeah, I'm finna take some smart cuts. That makes sense because my mom always taught me work smarter, not harder. Yeah. But this gave me like the science.
It gave you the science, and they gave you the research behind it, and they gave you some blueprints and some examples of what people were doing. So we gotta go fast though, because we got the hard stop. So the first one is hacking the ladder. You got the notes. You can put it up.
Hacking the ladder. Yep, I'll put it in there.
So he says approach things from a lateral thinking. That's the term that he uses. So versus the traditional thinking where you say, so he says like, all right, so he gives an example of somebody riding the car. So he said, if you're driving a car and you see your best friend, the woman you want to date, and an old woman on the side of the road and it's pouring down rain, and who do you stop to get? And he's basically saying like traditional thinking, be like, that's a great question. But the woman you want to be with, or man you want to be with, right? We live in that world, right? So, and it's not gender specific.
We should have talked about the baby too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We could talk. That's gonna be old news by next week. But anyway, so he's saying like, who you're gonna pick up, and it's a good reason to pick everybody up. And he said like, lateral thinking is saying, hey, let me get out the car and hang with this woman or man that I want to be with, and let the other two people get to their destination. And that's lateral thinking, that's out the box thinking. Because when he gave the example, I read the book, but when I was listening to it, I remember the example. But I was like, damn, like, because I was thinking like who I'm gonna give it to too, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, just thinking, doing different type of thinking. Then he got training with masters. So basically what that means is like get you a good mentor. And the way he talks about mentorship, he's not saying that you go out and ask people to mentor you. Like you actually form relationships with these people, let them have a vested interest in you, and you have a vested interest in them, and they will help you learn from they're masters at the craft. So whether your last is lawyer, whether you want to learn lawyering, whether you want to learn advertising, whether you want to learn how to invest in crypto, train with the masters, and they will basically speed your process up.
I'm putting your quotes. You got to put it up there, brother. Make them as you talk about them. They all in there now. The principles. Okay. Basically, that training with masters.
You can't share this.
Nothing can top experience and is as important as getting your own. All right, principle number 3. Go ahead. I just wanted to.
So principle 3 is rapid feedback. So, you know, a lot of us don't like to get feedback, especially negative feedback. Well, none of us like to, I ain't gonna say none of us. Going back to the negotiation, you got to negotiate who you allowing to give you feedback to, or who feedback you are taking. That's another point, auxiliary point that wasn't a part of this book, but he said negotiate your growth. You got to be careful about who you're getting feedback from. But rapid feedback is basically, you know, people giving you criticism, but they also giving you solutions on how to make it better. So it's just not like, hey, like you a piece of S. But he might be like, hey, you a piece of S, but to not be a piece of S, you should do boom, 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 basically. Then we got platforms. So we're leveraging this platforms finally, right? We've been talking about this for years. You've been telling me to leverage this platform for years. This platforms is not just Facebook. It's not just Instagram. There's, you know, Microsoft, right? There's Google. Like leverage these things that are already out there. So there's no reason. So he talks about the calculator. I believe that was the example he gave. What's that calculator? Anyway.
The Texas Instrument, but
yeah, Texas Instruments. Like
basically, it comes down to it's more difficult to have rapid success when trying to build something from scratch, but building on top of existing platforms and ideas give you a leg up. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just do whatever somebody else was doing better.
Yeah, and I like to just say, like, just take the joint, take what they're doing, and make it your own. Like I've been giving the Puff Daddy example. Like, yo, Puff, they ain't really do nothing that was unique as far as like producing, right? He took songs from the 80s, make it to the 80s. He told you what he was doing, and it worked. So that means he just built on the. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll summarize the catching waves.
Go ahead.
Got a couple minutes. Super connecting. Basically, you got a network, but network with people that you know that are like-minded, that have like the same vision as you, and that's going to help you get to where you want to be. Momentum. Sometimes we don't want to announce things because we want to do it big. It's good to think big, but sometimes you got to capitalize on every small victory, and that helps build your momentum. Simplicity. Keep it simple, stupid. That's basically how I'm gonna summarize that. Y'all can go read the book. And then 10x Thinking, Grant Cardone, he got a book about that. But that's essentially, my mom used to say this to me: if you reach for the moon, at least you'll fall on the stars if you fail. So you got to think big. And if you thinking big, then you're still likely to be a success, because whatever, even if you come short of what your grandiose thought or vision was, you still gonna hit something big. So that's what it is. It's a great book, y'all. It'll definitely help you out. Shout out to Ma Bingham, because she tagging everybody.
Yeah, Mom Bingham is the truth. All right, bro, take us out, Bishop, with the word.
Yep. Heavenly Father, we just come to you at this time, thanking you for being the awesome God that you are. We just pray that you help us as a people to understand your purpose for our lives individually and collectively. Help us to be a blessing to all those we interact with. We just pray that the things that DeTravius and I talk about here will bless someone and help them to get closer to you and your purpose. In your son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We got
5911.
Yeah, so I'm gonna everybody text me here for the shows, or send us a message behind the scenes, or reach out to us however you want to reach out to us. Thanks again for y'all tuning in. Thank you again, brother. I love you, man, for doing this. Thanks to everybody that tuned into the live. Thanks to everybody that's gonna watch this replay. And until next week, God willing, we'll see you at the same time, same place. Peace.
If they ain't about business, then you might have to tell them I'm not. If you let them.